Alright, so now one more question. What is ignorance? What is ignorance? Not knowing where you are, why you are, what is happening, that is ignorance. And this is happening at three levels. At the intellectual level also, at the emotional or mental level also, and at the level of body also. So BMI, okay? Body, mind, intellect. Ignorance is expressed in different ways. Why am I telling you all this? Because you need to evaluate yourself. It's a test. I told you today's verses are all about testing yourself. So one was the three-storied house. One was the sattva, rajas, tamas. Now third method. How is my ignorance? Is it ignorance at the level of my intellect? Is it ignorant at the level of my mind? Or is it at the ignorance at the level of my body? So at the level of intellect, if you have a lot of identifications, I am this, I am that, I am an Indian, I am a whatever, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Parsi, whatever, I am a this, I am a that, I am a that, then this is concepts. You are living in a concept. This is ignorance at the level of intellect. Or you are always labeling people. He is like this, she is like that. He is bad, she is good. He is this, she is that. Then also that is an ignorance at the level of intellect. And of course, if there are many, many desires within you, then also you are at the level of intellectual ignorance. Why? Why is all these three things called intellectual level ka ignorance? These are concepts, because they are concepts, and you are not seeing yourself as I am that. You are not seeing other one also as Tattvamasi. You are not seeing yourself as Aham Brahmasmi. And if you are that, you are already full, then why you have desires? So that is why this is ignorance at the level of intellect. Then mental level. At mental level, your ignorance is expressed as feelings, emotions. Emotions. We have given a lot of importance to expressing emotions because of emotional intelligence. We have misunderstood emotional intelligence and nothing to do with expressing your emotions. Emotions is E in motion, energy in motion. But energy needs to be focused. Energy needs to be stilled. Energy needs to be concentrated in the self. When you are expressing, you are saying, I am happy, I am sad, I am hungry, I am thirsty. That means you have gone into duality. Because when you are hungry, then that's another time you will be not hungry. When you are happy, another time you will be unhappy. You cannot be one without the other. And all this is happening at the level of the mind. So this is called mental ignorance or ignorance at the level of the mind. And physical level, very easy. Ignorance is expressed as desire prompted action. Actions which are prompted or motivated by desire. You have a thought in your mind, you have a desire, you have a thought in your mind. Gold is valuable. Then that intellectual thought translates into a feeling. Wow, gold is so good. I should have. And then at the level of the body, I must go and get it. Today is Adhyay. I must get it. Call Gopal. Get me the gold coin. Okay? So, if there's a sattvic desire, it will give you a sattvic feeling, which will be translated into a sattvic action. allowed. Allowed. Sattvic desire, I want moksha. Sattvic feeling,
Peace.
peace, I want to experience peace and quiet and go to satsang, sattvic action. Agitated, disturbed feelings will result in agitated, rajasic, disturbed, chaotic action. And base, violent, lustful desire will result in base, violent, lustful action. Simple. It's the guna that is dictating the action. Therefore, all actions belong to guna. So, if you want to change any habit which is rajasic or tamasic, we just say, stop this action. Not possible. You have not changed the guna. That is why it is so difficult to stop smoking. That is why it's so difficult to stop drinking. That is why it's so difficult to what? Stop binging. Stop whatever you want to stop. It's difficult because you are doing it at the level of action, whereas it has to come at the level of guna. So, the one who has identified with the BMI, the one who has identified with the body, with the I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, then he thinks I am also the doer. Because I am the body, I am doing. Right? So that those are the people who will say I am the doer, karta bhava. But how can I be the doer? Because I is Atma. And Atma was Purush, remember? And BMI is Prakriti. So I can never be the doer. Who's the doer? Prakriti. Prakriti means gunas. Therefore, Bhagavan says, what does Bhagavan say? Which one? Oh, where am I? 32 and reading. 27. In fact, all actions are being performed by the modes of Prakriti. Modes of Prakriti means three gunas. All action is happening here, not here. I is Purush. Therefore, I can never be the doer. This is an understanding. You have to understand. And this understanding happens when you realize, Brahmas. So,
what is in your hand?
your hand is to change your buddhi from Brahmit, deluded, to clear-headed. That is your job. That is called Purusharth. Self-will, self-effort. Understanding this and saying, is this where I want to be? What is my goal? I'm making a goal, first and foremost. That is what you do. Make a goal. After you make the goal, you say, okay, I want to go to this place. Now I want to do this action. Is it taking me here or is it taking me there? If it's taking me here, go. If it's taking me there, don't go. Choice is yours. Free will. Otherwise, what is the point of this whole existence if you do not have free will? You are not a puppet. You have been endowed with buddhi. But unfortunately, we are using our buddhi on a lower level. What are we doing with our buddhi? We are judging others. He is like this, she is like this, it is like this, it is like that. It should be like this, she should be like that, she should say this, he should say that. Arey, forget it. This is not why the buddhi has been given to you. You are using washing machine to cook your rice. How will it cook? It is meant for washing clothes. Buddhi is meant to know what is sat, what is asat, what is reality, what is mithya, what is asat, and then do your actions accordingly. So all actions, otherwise, if you see it, if you understand it, all actions are what? They are just projections of the mind. All your actions are just the crystallized thoughts which are coming out from your mind. Or crystallized vasanas, the crystallization of your vasanas. What I want, that I do. All actions, whether it is sattva, tamas or rajas. So, if you identify, suppose you are identifying with prakriti. Prakriti means BMI, body, mind, intellect. You should actually be identifying with Purush. But right now you are identifying with Prakriti. Almost everyone is, right? But you should be identifying with Purush. So then, what happens? The ID, the identification with BMI, is giving you the wrong notion of doer, karta. It's giving you the wrong notion of doer. Now, when you are identifying yourself as the doer, then you want the result of the action, obviously, because otherwise, why would you do it? So now the aham, which is the ego, gets anxious about the result of the action. You are doing something, you want the result, now there is tension, now there is stress. Will I get the result? Will I not get the result? So the ego, who is anxious? Ego, the aham, who you think you are. It's getting anxious about the result of the action. And when you get anxious about the result, your attachment becomes stronger. And that is why we are unable to become detached or not detached. All our action is attached to the result. So that is why we are all in karta bhav, bhokta bhav. So to avoid this doership, in yoga there are two terms, klisht and aklisht. Actions your mind should be klisht or aklisht. Thoughts should be klisht or aklisht. Klisht means they are colored by rag and dvesh. Rag and dvesh is attraction or repulsion. So most of us have this bimari, I should say, of rag and dvesh. Things we love, we rush towards, we have rag for it. And things we don't like or are averse to, we have dvesh, we are repulsed by it. Either way, we are slaves of rag and dvesh. If you come into this door, into this room through this door, and you see your best friend sitting somewhere, where will you go to sit?
Next to the best.
Next to your best friend. If you see somebody who you hate sitting in the room, where will you sit? Directly opposite, far away, or you may even decide to not attend. What is she doing here? So you are going to or going away, running to or running away. You are both, in both cases, a slave. Of who? Your rag and your dvesh. That means at that moment your thought was klisht. And aklisht is the opposite. Not slave of rag or dvesh. You do according to dharma. So we also learnt it in other ways. Priya and shreya. You do what is right, not what you love or what is pleasant for you or what is pleasing to you. So Arjun's dilemma, coming back to the verse, Arjun's dilemma was what? At that moment, his thoughts were clished or aclished? Clished. Highly clished, okay? Because he's colored by rag for his family. His thoughts are colored by attachment to his family, to his guru, is also attached to his lineage, is attached to society. He sees himself as a Pandava, labeled. He sees himself as a Shishya. How can I kill my Guru? So as soon as Arjun has made a decision not to fight, last verse of chapter 1, I cannot fight. What happens to him? He collapses. He slumps down at the back of his chariot. He drops his bow. He drops his arrow, which is the sign of a Kshatriya, valor of a Kshatriya. So, at the level of intellect, the ignorance was what? I am Kshatriya, I am Pandava, I am Shishya. Intellectual ignorance. Feeling level?
I must do this.
Emotional. I cannot do this. It's very wrong. This, that. I feel afraid. How can I do this? Action. Level of action. Body slump. So you saw how it came? Intellectual, mental, physical. All three levels was his ignorance. At that moment, Bhagwan did not speak anything till chapter 2. But when he spoke, did he say, poor Arjun? Ek tamacha, wobble tamacha. It does not befit you to talk like this. From where has this weakness come? You were in Gurukul, you have got my inputs from childhood. It doesn't bespoke you to have these kind of feelings. So, Bhagwan Krishna is reminding him of the wisdom of the Upanishads. Chapter 2 starts with what? All the Jnana Yoga. Yes or no? I am reminding you, Tattvamasi, this is what this entire universe is. You are not a body, you are not born, you will not die. Stone cannot crush you, water cannot wet you, air cannot dry you, fire cannot burn you. Why are you afraid? Gives the full wisdom that you are immortal. Then Bhagwan Krishna reminds him also that you have to change your identification from I as Prakriti to I as Purush. You understood? So, just like when you have a dream and when you see the dream, you are in dream state, you see the dream and it's some very scary dream. You know, people cry also in their dream. And if it's a very funny dream, people laugh also in their dream, right? But when you laugh, it will be very scary. But once the dream is over, once you have woken up from your dream, you're not going to continue crying. You're not going to continue laughing. You're not going to continue seeing those visions, right? In the same way, so what has created that dream? So all your impressions of the waking state, all the impressions of the waking state, in the dream state, you see them irrationally, all mixed up, jumbled up as a dream. But when you wake up, khalas, it's over. The image is also over. The action in the dream is also over. The emotion is also over. And whatever your reaction, everything is over. In the same way, in the waking state, our actions are what? They are projections of the same mind. It is the same mind that is creating the actions in the dream. It is the same mind that is creating the actions even in the waking state. Dream state, the actions which you had in the waking state were getting created. In waking state, all the actions of your previous lifetimes is coming out in the action of the waking state. Once you understand that, and that understanding that this is not happening really, it's just like a dream. You will stop seeing yourself as the doer in the waking state, just as you stop seeing yourself as the dreamer in the dream state. So in the waking state, we are identifying with the waker. In the dream state, we identify with the dreamer. So in the same way, once this understanding happens and you wake up from the state of projecting from your mind, there will be no need for sorrow or pain or pleasure. You will be in that equanimous condition. Alright? So therefore Bhagavan is telling Arjun, it is the ignorant fool who has identified with the BMI and is attached to the action with the thought, I am the doer. But the wise one who has understood, who has seen himself as Aham Brahmasmi, he knows that all the actions are prompted by the gunas and that our true identity is not BMI, our true identity is Purush. Therefore, I am not the doer. But don't use this argument to do wrong things and say, I am not the doer. Then understand, I am predominantly tamasic right now, I better change. Okay, it is wrongly used as a justification of wrong actions also.